Hey guys, it's Bassima. Welcome back to my channel. Today is video number 3 of the April Goals 2022 challenge. If you've stuck with me so far, I'm super happy to have you here. In my case, it hasn't been a super easy journey. So if you're feeling the same, I encourage you to take some time to really appreciate how much you've inched closer towards your goals in the month of April. And if you're new to this channel and you're really looking for some added motivation, either for the month of April or for the next month, check out this video right here that's going to explain to you what this challenge is made of. So today's video is going to be a little different. The first 2 videos I focused more so on productivity to really help you set up that foundation that's going to inch you closer towards your goals. But for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 freelance mistakes to avoid as a beginner. Anyone who's watching right now that might have a goal of either starting a freelance business or working online, or just wanting to take their freelance business to the next level, having an idea of what mistakes to avoid as a freelancer can really help accelerate your progress towards your online freelance business goals. So if you're new to my channel, I'm a freelancer and productivity coach on Fiverr, the freelancing platform, but I also have my freelance business that's off of Fiverr. I help freelancers start their online freelance businesses in a way that's not overwhelming so that they can reach their ambitious goals when it comes to freelancing. Let's get into the first freelancing mistake to avoid as a beginner. So the first mistake that I found myself making off of platforms, so off of Fiverr, I was undercharging for way too long. When it comes to undercharging, the mistake here isn't just because you're not making as much money as you'd like to. It's more so that you tend to notice that your commitment towards your freelance business starts to go down. So you're not as motivated, you're not as disciplined, and you're not treating your freelance business as an actual business. You're putting in all this passion and this effort, and the return is so little in comparison. So the key here is, as a beginner freelancer, you really want to understand that it's up to you to give yourself value. It's not your client's responsibility to do that. When you're starting out as a freelancer, take the time to look at your skills and your experience and price your services based off of that. Don't focus so much on the fact that you're just starting out and that you should be pricing your services lower. Put your attention more so on the skills and the experience that you're bringing to the table. That was definitely a big mistake that I made at the beginning that had me undercharging for way too long. One simple way that I was able to start pricing my services much higher is by creating packages. As a freelance coach, I was able to create these 3-month packages where I was focusing on the client transformation. Where is the client starting, and evaluating potentially where they could be at within 3 months. That allowed me to price my services much higher than offering just a standalone session where the client wouldn't necessarily have as big of a transformation. Once you stop undercharging, your client's commitment levels are going to increase, especially if you're doing something like freelance coaching. For other types of freelance work, you're going to attract a different level of client. It's going to be a client that really values and respects the effort and the work that you put in. The next mistake that most freelance beginners make is being overly nice and not setting definitive boundaries. This was a huge struggle for me. I do try my best to always be nice, and I do also try to avoid confrontation as much as possible. But within your online freelance business, you're going to realize that if you don't have definitive boundaries, it can really stop you from getting to the next level that you're looking for in your online freelance business. Not having definitive boundaries can cause clients to not pay on time, being late to meetings, potentially expecting additional meetings, place of those meetings that they were late for. You can also have clients being on calls with you for way longer than they've paid for. I do want to highlight that there is a difference between you choosing to give the client additional time and the client being the one in the lead. You really want to make sure that you're the one in charge, that you're taking the lead either in your calls or your meetings or on your projects, and you're setting the necessary boundaries. This is really going to help in giving your work the value it deserves and also help increase your client's respect for your work. This might feel a little uncomfortable at the beginning, but it truly will pay dividends in the long run. Okay, so the next mistake that I found myself making is taking on any and every client. I know that this can be tempting at the beginning. You want the experience, you want the testimonials, and you want the money. From my personal experience, I truly recommend that you vet your clients before taking them on, especially if you're not working on a platform like Fiverr, so you have your own freelance business that you're managing on the side. If you're not vetting your clients before taking them on, this can cause you a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress and overwhelm, and truly make you start hating the process of building your freelance business. I learned this the hard way by really taking on any and every client. Now I make sure that I vet my clients as much as possible before taking them on. It's truly important for me to be working from a space where I'm excited and happy about the work that I'm doing, instead of including additional stress and anxiety because I didn't vet my clients in advance. If you're a new freelancer, I definitely recommend that you keep this in mind when starting to take on clients. The fourth mistake that I made is that I was providing discounts. So this is a controversial one, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is that oftentimes as a new freelancer, you're most likely already going to be undercharging. Providing discounts to clients can cause you to be making next to nothing on the projects or the work that you're doing for the client. Honestly, if you're already charging low and the client decides to work with you at that original price, but when it comes to extending with you, they're expecting a discount, this is where I truly encourage you to say no. I rarely provide discounts anymore, and instead I prefer to add in things of value. I might throw in a free check-in message or follow-up message midweek for the client. So that's how I like to go about it, as opposed to lowering my prices even more, especially if they're already low. So keep that in mind the next time that the client asks you for a discount. The last mistake that I made is that I wasn't extremely clear on what is included in my services. This can be a little bit difficult when you're starting out as a new freelancer because you yourself might not even know what's included within your services. And that's totally okay. You will go through a trial and error process and get more clear on what it is that you'd like to offer within your services and what would be outside the scope of what you'd like to offer. But if you do already have an idea of the things that you don't want to offer, make sure you're very clear on what is excluded from your services. So for example, let's say you're a virtual assistant, be extremely clear on what's included within your work and what isn't. Being very clear in what you offer is going to help you manage expectations of the client. The client knows exactly what they're going to get from you, and they're not going to be disappointed thinking that you were going to offer something that you didn't actually end up offering. The other thing is that it's really going to help you avoid clients that are going to try to freeload off your services and just consistently try to get more than what they're paying for. I highly recommend that if you do know what it is that you don't want to offer, make sure that you're very clear in communicating this with the client. So I hope you enjoyed this video on the 5 freelance mistakes to avoid as a beginner. I truly believe that having the awareness of these common mistakes that many of us beginner freelancers can make can really help you avoid them and truly accelerate your progress towards your goals. As always, if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.